Welcome to the Pre-Snap Podcast presented by LineStar, your best NFL prop bets for Thursday Night Football in Week 2. We've got the Vikings at the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles favored by 7.5 points. Alongside my co-host Tyler Wiemann, I'm Shannon Sommerville. And Tyler, we've got a great game on the slate for today. Two pretty good teams that faced each other last year in what was actually a pretty decent game. The Eagles last week faced the Patriots and narrowly got by them, but nonetheless, they are 1-0 heading into the season. The Vikings, meanwhile, lost out to the Bucs in Week 1 in kind of a disappointing performance. What are your expectations here?
I would say it was very disappointing for the Vikings. I do expect it to be a decent game, though. I think the point spread -7 for the Eagles is probably right. And I mean, even with that -7, I probably still take that over the Vikings, especially with how they looked in Week 1.
Yeah, one of the biggest point spreads of the weekend, but for good reason. And we're going to get into some of the prop bets that we like for tonight that are on Underdog Fantasy, PrizePicks, Sleeper, Chalkboard, whatever app you're using. But those particular apps, if you use the promo code LineStar, you can get up to $100 of your first deposit match. Plus, on Chalkboard, there's actually a $300 deposit match. So just giving out money here with that promo code LineStar. Remember to use that. And all the links and stuff are below for that. Also, make sure to check out the LineStar app. It's a great tool to help you dominate in daily fantasy in the prop betting market. We're using the tool that's called the PropsAI tool. It'll help you find the best value in the prop market. It is awesome, and we've been crushing it. We are 10 of 16. I'll take that any day for Week 1 in our picks. 10 of 16, not too bad, Tyler. What are your thoughts on our record so far?
Not too bad at all. I mean, obviously, it always could be better, but with Week 1 and all the uncertainty, I like it. And we absolutely crushed the sportsbook one. We were 4-1, and 3 of the bets were at plus money. So that was a real solid one.
Yeah, that was awesome. And, that includes Monday Night Football, where 2 of our bets were dependent on Aaron Rodgers, who left the game. So I'm going to take that anytime. But let's improve it a little bit this week and start to rack up some money here. You can find these picks, Underdog Fantasy, PrizePicks, Sleeper, and Chalkboard as well, as I mentioned. And if you haven't already, do us a huge favor. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and comment below. A comment will also enter you into our prop bets contest. Tyler and I are each going to give out a pick, and if we both hit our prop, one randomly selected commenter will win $50. So got to be in it to win it. All right, let's get after it. All right, our first pick here for this Thursday night game. We're going to Eagles wide receiver A.J. Brown over 73.5 receiving yards. A.J. Brown averaged 88 receiving yards per game last year. Last week in Week 1, he put up 79 against a really good Patriots defense. Now he's going up against a much worse, porous defense in the Minnesota Vikings, who allowed the most receiving yards to wide receivers in 2022. What is your assessment of this line here for A.J. Brown?
Yeah, I just think the line is a little bit low here. A.J. Brown is an extremely good receiver, has been over in 7 of the last 10. And the Minnesota's new defense is trying to bring some pressure. And what that is doing is putting the receivers in more one-on-one coverage, allowing them to get deep like Mike Evans and Baker Mayfield were able to connect a couple times with. And if they can do it, surely Hurts and Brown can.
I mean, it had to be a little bit embarrassing for that Minnesota Vikings defense when Baker Mayfield was trucking some of those guys. Did you see that play where he was going for a first down? I think he told them to grow.
Told them to put weight on?
Put some weight on. That's what he said. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So A.J. Brown's a pretty tough dude that can absolutely truck some guys, even more so than Baker Mayfield. So A.J. Brown's in a great spot here. Tyler, where are you going for your favorite prop bet of the week or of the night?
I know you're not going to like mine because it is going against a lot of Georgia Bulldogs on that Eagles front. But we are going with Alexander Madison, higher than 10.95 fantasy points. Madison played 73% of the snaps. He's going to continue to have that workload. We have a very high game total of 49 points, and he can score through both rushing and receiving. I expect him to get at least half of that through the receiving game, like Ramondre Stevenson did last year. or last week. Ramondre had 6 receptions. I think it was for
Mhm.
40 something yards here. And Madison can absolutely do that. He is not quite as good of a receiver as Stevenson, but he is very well versed in catching the ball out of the backfield. And I think he's going to get a lot of points doing that today.
Yeah, I think the way he gets there is in the receiving game. What worries me is that defensive line of the Philadelphia Eagles that is
Yep.
absolutely stacked. Jalen Carter in his first NFL game last week, he's a former Georgia Bulldog, just absolutely dominated last week. So I'd be scared to go against him from the run game standpoint, but certainly you could see him getting there with those receiving yards as well. All right, for my prop bet, I am going Kirk Cousins over 0.5 interceptions. Yeah, I think Kirk Cousins is throwing a pick here in this game. He had 14 last year, so almost 1 pick per game. I think he's going to throw in here against a really good Eagles defense that tied for the 4th most picks last year. And in last year's game against the Eagles, he had 3 interceptions. There's also a lot of injuries on that offensive line for the Vikings. I think that they're going to bring a ton of pressure and really get to Kirk Cousins here, not giving him a lot of time to make good reads and go through his progressions. He had 1 last week against Tampa Bay. I think he gets another one here. Also, Jalen Carter is a tough dude. He had the 2nd highest pass rush win rate for an interior offensive lineman or interior defensive lineman in week 1. He's going to be tough. So just something to keep an eye on in Thursday Night Football. Kirk Cousins for an interception. I like this one.
That D-line is legit.
They're scary, man, and I think they're going to cause some problems for Kirk Cousins. And when you look at the point spread, it's reflected in that. I think the offense is going to have a hard time in this one, although they still have Justin Jefferson. So, you know, they'll stay competitive, I think, in this game. But the
offense, they have a ton of different weapons. So they can totally stay competitive. And that's also part of the reason why I kind of like Madison, just for those dump offs.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the game script for the Vikings is going to be through the air in this one. I think that's how you got to get it done. So that lends itself to some mistakes by Mr. Kirk Cousins. I think he might make 1 or 2 in this one because that Eagles defense is tough, man. They are nasty. They are full of former Georgia Bulldogs. We like to see that. I'm a Georgia Bulldog. So, All right. Now it's time for touchdown calls of the game. Tyler, who's scoring an anytime touchdown tonight?
You know what? I got to go to the tight end, Mr. TJ Hockenson, 6'5", 250. It's plus 245 for a touchdown. I think that number is just crazy. Hunter Henry lit up the defense last week, and now it's Hockenson's time. He is, a better Hunter Henry, and in a game script that is likely going to be throwing a lot and a lot more check downs because of that very good Eagles front line. I think 245 is way too good of a price, especially considering that he's averaging almost 9 targets a game with Minnesota. I think he gets into the end zone tonight.
I see your tight end, and I raise you 1 Dallas Goedert for an anytime touchdown at plus 220. Goddard, 6'5", 250. He's a big dude and a matchup nightmare for opposing defenses. Yes, I know he only had 1 target last week, but he was on the field a lot. And I just think that the matchup last week didn't lend itself to a Dallas Goedert game, but this one certainly does against a much softer Vikings defense who have struggled in the past against opposing tight ends. I think he's going to be targeted a bunch. Last year in the game, he had 82 receiving yards against Minnesota. I think he has another big game here and will be targeted in the red zone like he is occasionally. And Jalen Hurts has some good chemistry with his guys. He's a nice little safety valve for him. So I like his chances for an anytime touchdown. We like our tight ends in this game. I like it. Tight ends were scoring a lot of touchdowns last year, that's for sure. I remember when we had our touchdown calls last year, that was a prevalent theme, was the tight ends scoring touchdowns for sure in this game. So I like our calls here. Especially TJ Hockenson too. That's another good one. He got paid for a reason in this offseason, so I think he's going to earn his money. That's a good one. All right, for more analytics, statistics, everything you need to dominate in daily fantasy and prop betting, make sure to check out the LineStar app. Also, if you haven't already, do us a huge favor. If you're enjoying our content, go ahead and like this video. subscribe to our channel, comment below. A comment enters you into our prop bets contest. We're giving out $50. If Tyler and I both hit our props, one randomly selected commenter is winning $50, and we'll announce that on the next show. So make sure to comment below. Good luck in all of your prop betting endeavors. Tyler, before we go, who's your pick for this? Eagles, 7.5. Who are you taking?
Oh, I'm going Eagles minus
Eagles.
7. I have already bet it.
Yeah, fly Eagles fly in this one. I think after kind of a sluggish start for Jalen Hurts in that offense against a very tough Patriots defense, I think they come out soaring in week 2 against the Minnesota Vikings defense that struggled against Baker Mayfield and the Bucks. Yeah, give me the Eagles in this one, especially with all those Georgia Bulldogs on there. Gotta love it. Big game for the Dogs this weekend, by the way, Tyler. Going up against South Carolina. Big SEC matchup. All right. Well, we're talking NFL. We've got other videos coming up. Make sure to tune into Tyler's DFS preview. He'll walk you through the great plays there. He's been crushing it in daily fantasy, so you're going to want to get his advice there. And we've also got some other picks for you, Underdog Fantasy picks for Pick'em this week. We've got week 2 already up, so make sure to check that out as well. And we'll be back on Friday with our MLB picks, which have been crushing it this season, so make sure to tune into that as well. Sign up for those notifications so you know when we're coming out with videos. We'll see you guys next time. Good luck in all your betting. We'll see you guys next time.
Have a good one, guys. Bye.